Hello everyone and welcome back to Poppy Seed Mini. Today we're going to be checking out and making some miniature orchids for your dollhouse. So I went to the store the other day and picked up what I hope is the Make It Mini Lifestyle Orchid. Now, have any of you heard about the cheat code for the Make It Miniverse? At Kate Elizabeth on Instagram has put out these little cheat code sheets that you have to check out if you are hunting for the Make It Miniverse stuff. There are cheat codes for the food and the plants and everything. It's pretty sweet. Because I'm on the hunt for the orchid, I'm looking for a tiny little dot on that top corner by the water. And I'll show you what I mean. So if you take a look at the Miniverse ball, you see how there's this tiny little pinhole up in the corner? That's the kind of thing you're looking for when you're checking to see which one you've got. Well, let's open it up and see if this works. All right, moment of truth. Oh, yep, there it is. This one totally worked. Oh, that is sweet. The Make It Mini Lifestyle Orchid comes with a glass fishbowl, the beautiful orchid itself, the bamboo stake, and I gotta show you guys this. There is a tiny little clamp, just like the little clip that you would get with your real orchids. It also comes with 2 bags of white rocks and a trowel. Of course, there's the extra stuff that goes with the ball, like the tweezers and the shelf and everything. But this is what we're checking out today. So I think it's pretty straightforward. We're just going to cut into our bag of rock here. Now these Make It Mini Lifestyle Home Edition ones are a little simpler than the original Lifestyle balls. They don't quite have as many things that go with them. Like the terrarium or the glass vase here didn't come in a special box or anything. All right. Now we'll open up the second bag. Trying to hold the plant in while I pour these rocks around it. Not always the easiest task here. Good luck, everyone. There you go. I would prefer a little dirt and then the rock, I think, if you ask me. Now we can take the little bamboo stake here and we are going to slip that in behind the plant and clamp it to the flower. But, you know, I want more plants, so today we're going to be doing a versus video, and I will show you how to make your own little orchid for your dollhouse. One of the first things you'll need to do is go to my blog, poppyseedmini.blogspot.com, and grab your free printable. Now, you can either print this on cardstock, which is what this is printed on currently, or I also highly recommend printing it on brochure paper. See that glossy shine I'm getting? Now I won't need to coat this with packing tape. Now the only thing is, I don't like the flowers printed on the brochure paper. I definitely prefer them on the cardstock because I get a matte finish and not a glossy finish for the flowers. So to be honest, I'm wasting a little bit of paper and ink here, but I'm going to use my brochure paper for my potting mix, my book, and my pots, because look at these cool pots we're going to be making. And I'm going to be using my cardstock for my flowers because I like that little bit more matte finish when it comes to making the flowers. The next thing you're going to look for is something that you can create the stem and the leaves out of. So for that, I ended up over at Walmart. They always have these like spring picks right about this time, and they are 97 cents. They're not even $1, you guys. So sometimes Walmart does better than the dollar store, especially now that it's the $1.25 store. What you're kind of looking for, and I'm going to clip this off and then show you close up. I know this is fuzzy and white right now, but we're just going to wash that off and it pops right off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to clip these pieces off, but I'm also leaving a stem that I can put my little orchids on. So I clip all the way down to the end, but I'm going to leave this last one because it's got the little balls on it. So I'm going to go wash this and then I'll show you how it looks. All right, so now I've got it where it's cleaned off and there's a few more balls on the end than I want. I only want about 3 in the end. So I'm just going to clip a couple off. I just keep clipping them off until I got about 3 on the end, like so. Now yours might be slightly different. I like the fact that this one is curved and I've got my branches. So this is what you're hunting for, is something with a shape like this. And you all saw the pick I pulled it off of, you know, so you kind of have to think outside of the box when you're hunting for stuff like this. Now for the leaves. Now the nicest one I've found so far for leaves is this bush from Hobby Lobby. Now it's a full bush. It was $9.99 and I got it 50% off. And I can make 100, you know, orchids with this one. So I really love it. I'm glad I took the time to buy it. But honestly, if you're only making one, you know, do you really want to spend $5 on something like this? So I also found this one at the dollar store. And I know you're like, what does this have to do with orchids? But this is exactly what I used for this one. I just took the leaf stem off. And again, I'm going to go to my sink and wash all this fuzz off. And then you'll see what a nice green there is under this. And here it is, now that I've got it all cleaned off. So that white fuzz just washes right off, no big deal. And what I found underneath are these beautiful green leaves. Now I know they're not the right shape, but I'll show you how to shape them. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cut off the leaves I want. And I want for sure all the dark green ones. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Can probably use this one, but like these ones start to get, maybe I could use some of this one. We'll see. These ones start to get too light and I don't want that color for my orchids. All right, so the next thing you're gonna do is start shaping, because orchids have kind of that, I don't know, what would you call that shape where it's just like, it's really pretty. I don't know. Ovally? I don't know. Trying to come up with words and terms on the fly while you're filming. Oh my gosh. Sometimes, you guys, it's no picnic being a YouTuber sometimes. So this one will be my first and largest leaf. And then I've got another one here that can be one of my large leaves. So So I'm going to cut off all of the garbage because this one kind of has some funky stuff on it. No big deal. And then the other side. And you don't want the tip really pointed. That should be rounded. There you go. And I cut an indent where it is going to be glued to the stem. So I've got all my leaves and I've got my stem made. The next thing I grab is an extra long decorative toothpick. I'm going to use my Beacon 3-in-1 Advanced Craft Glue to glue this part together. You'll need to decide where to glue your stem on. And I want basically my toothpick to be as long as my stem here. So I'm going to glue it right to here. Now the nice thing about the 3-in-1 is it'll grab pretty much right away. But it does take a little time to fully dry. Next, I'm going to glue one of my smallest leaves right into the base of that stem. Add glue to the other side and glue on your next smallest leaf. All right, once our upper leaves are glued into place, then we're going to add the next 2 leaves. And you want to make sure you save your longest ones for last. So I just slide them up the skewer right into the next leaf. And they kind of fan out from each other. Like so. All right, and now I add the 2 largest leaves to the bottom. And I love how each leaf turns out different and kind of takes on a life of its own. So I'm just gonna let those fan out like so and let them dry. Now, if you take a look at the Make It Mini lifestyle ball, they have these incredibly cool orchid roots that they've created. So the next thing we're going to do is make some roots. I am using coated floral wire for this project. And actually, I found this wire and tape set in the bakery section at Hobby Lobby. And if you go on the right day for 50% off, you can get it for like $2.50. Now, what you're going to do is just, you want to create some zigzaggy like roots for this part. You know, have you ever looked at orchid roots and they're kind of just crazy and all over the place and wiggly and fun. I don't know. I like orchid roots. I think they're neat. Let's run it this way. Okay, so I kind of got something that's like squiggly and zigzagging around. All right, so what I do to cut it is I set it against my toothpick and then cut it about the length of my toothpick there so that I can glue it down to the toothpick. Like so. So now we have a root. I'm going to make 3 or 4 more. I did end up adding 5 roots to this design. Once the roots are done drying, I'm going to paint them with a green-gray acrylic paint. It may have been wise to paint them before I glued them on, but I don't know, maybe not. Just you don't want to paint your leaves, so you just have to be careful. That's all. I'm also going to paint the stem itself green. So it kind of looks like it's the roots. Just like the Make It Mini. I've included 4 different options for flowers on my printable. Once you've picked the design you want to use, flip it over and color the back side of it. I'm using my watercolor pen to color this, but you can use pencils or pens or crayons or whatever it is you want to use, just so that you've got color on the back side as well as the front. Once you've colored the back side, you can start cutting out the pieces. Now, I've kind of got it set where these are the large, and this is kind of a large as well, and then it kind of goes medium and small as each size goes down. So kind of make sure you're keeping the large set, medium, or small set together. So maybe just work on one set at a time. Cut each flower out. For this center part here, I do like it to be a little darker on the back side. So once I know where that is, a lot of times I'll go back and add more color behind that one. You'll need to cut in here, here, and on the bottom here and here, so that it'll curl up properly. Then I take my sheet of craft foam that has seen better days. As you can tell, I do a lot of watercoloring on this. And my little pieces here. And then I'm also using a stylus with a small and a large ball, like so, to shape the petals. I flip it over to the back side, and then I just rub across the back to kind of curl these up, flip it over, and then press in the center, like so. And then for the big petals here, I just kind of curl around the edges, like so. And then again, I press in the center and kind of push those sides down as I do. And then for this little stamen piece here, I want to flip up and curve up those little side pieces, and then cause that center to curl up as well. And I want this part to stick out, and that little piece should sit in the back, because that's what you're going to glue to the rest of the flower. So the rest is going to fold up like so. Now, since we're working with paper, I'm switching to my Glossy Accents glue to glue this together. So I just glue in the center of the back piece and glue on those petals. Press that down into place and then add a little more glue to the center. And then, you, like I said, you're just gonna gluing on that back piece right into the center there. Definitely helps to have a pair of tweezers with you to do this project. All right, and we're curling this up and out. And there it is once it's finished. You're gonna make all the other flowers the same way. All right, now we're ready to glue our flowers on. So I'm switching back to my 3-in-1 glue, and I just put a bead of glue on the stem, and you want to use your biggest flowers first. I like using the 3-in-1 for this project because it sticks pretty much right away, or it's tacky right away, and then it dries. I am going to add one more, even though there's no stem for it. I'm going to add a flower right to the main stem. And there we go. Now we need a pot. If you need to make a pot, cut out my printable and then start folding down all the tabs. There are 6 slices to this pot, so you're just going to fold on each of those lines. Once I have it all folded, I use my glue stick to glue down the tabs. The upper tabs, not the lower ones. Then I'm going to glue that side tab to the other side. The bottom should fold down right into itself. Just add some glue to the underside of the tabs to glue it down. Like so. And there is a large version and a small version. For today, I'm just going to use a little kinetic sand in my pot. You could also use hot glue or rocks or whatever it is you want to fill your pot with. And then I'm just going to stick my orchid right into place. And then I might go back and add some rocks to the bottom there. To make the bag of potting soil, all you're going to do is fold on the front line and then fold on that back line. So, and then you're going to fold that bottom section in half. So it should look like this, and kind of accordion on the bottom. And I have found for this project, my 3-in-1 glue works rather well. Takes longer to dry, but it holds really nice. So just run a bead of glue along the edge and then press it together and then just kind of wipe away that extra glue that squeezes out. And if you have a clamp, it's always nice to clamp or pinch that bottom section shut so that it fuses together nicely. Let that dry completely. Once it's glued together and dry, you can pop it open. I normally stick like a pen down there or something to pop that bottom open. And then you can fill it with fluff, or I'm going to fill mine with kinetic sand, or whatever you would like to use. Oops. And then you'll just glue that top closed. To make the book, you'll cut out the pages and the book cover. Then you'll take the book cover and fold on the spine. Like so. Then you'll take the pages and they get folded accordion style. And I kind of do the first two, and then I come back and fold the last two. There's a line right here that you're folding to. You probably can't see it on camera, but it's there. And then fold that down. And then I come back and do that last fold to get it even. Crease it thoroughly. All right. Open it back up, and you're just going to glue the 4 center pages together. Like so. And then run your glue stick along the spine and glue into the cover. Now always check, make sure you're right side up before gluing it in. Like so. All right, guys, now I need your help. Because this is a versus video, I would love to know what you guys think. Do you like the Make It Miniverse lifestyle orchid better? Or do you like my do-it-yourself orchids? Let me know. If you'd like to turn this project into a surprise ball of your own, you'll have to check out my other versus video where I made a surprise box with a free printable. I'll leave that link in the description box below. I hope you've all enjoyed this episode of Poppy Seed Mini. I hope you'll have fun with the printable and enjoy making your very own miniature orchids. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And have fun crafting!